Hi friends, I'm Tanya with FreeRangeCottage, and today I'm going to spill the tea on shopping at the bins, plus a thrift haul from the bins, so you want to stay tuned. Hi there, in today's video I am going to share some great home decor finds that I found from the bins. And there's Koji in the background. I've just let them go. There's no point in trying to keep them quiet or still while I'm doing these videos. But anyway, you might want to grab your cup of coffee. I have mine, and if it's in the evening, maybe something less caffeinated, I don't know, but I wanted to show you these great latte cups that I got at Anthropologie right before Christmas. They're so pretty with that color wash. Anyway, on with the bins. It occurred to me that some of you, I've seen different comments around on my channel and on others, that some of you have never shopped at the bins, you're not familiar with them, you're kind of scared of them from maybe some of the stories that have come out. So if that's you, you want to stick around, I'm going to go over everything. And if not, you may, if you're an experienced thrifter and have been to the bins and you don't need to know any of that, I'm going to show you a thrift haul of some things that I found this past weekend at the bins. So first thing is, what are the bins? The bins are a Goodwill outlet, and they are the last stop for Goodwill donated items before they go on to their final resting place, wherever that may be, whether it's bundled up clothing and textiles and stuff that's sent off to make rag rugs or whatever they end up doing with them. This is the last stop. A lot of the items could be broken or missing things, or they just didn't sell for whatever reason. The reason people have nicknamed them the bins is because they have these huge bins on wheels that they'll wheel out and exchange the one that maybe the huge bin that's been picked over for a while, and they'll take that other one to the back, they'll refill them with fresh merchandise and bring them out. And everybody's standing around like vultures, kind of waiting to jump on those bins. So that's why they're called, shopping at the bins. Okay, second, how do you find out if there's a bins in your area? Well, you would just look for a Goodwill outlet. Just Google Goodwill outlet and see what is the closest one in your area. You should be able to find the hours and everything like that. Some tips on shopping at the bins. So most bins, everything is sold by the pound, and you put it on a big rolling cart that's on a scale, and you put all your items in there and they weigh them, and that's your price. Keeping in mind that things are priced by the pound, so if you're getting really excited because you found a bunch of cast iron skillets or something like that, you want to keep that in mind. And generally, if they're not super packed with a line of people waiting to check out, you can go up and have them weigh things and get a rough idea of what you would be spending and if it would be worth it to you. Also, things that are outside of that are books. In my area anyway, books are 5 for $2 or 50 cents a piece. So it kind of benefits you if you find more. And then there are furniture pieces that are priced separately. And so that's how the pricing goes. Now, when we go to the bins, we almost always, unless we forget, we bring a pair of disposable gloves. I've seen people in there with work gloves on also, because when you're, moving things around in the bins and stuff, you may encounter some broken pieces, pottery and glass and things, because they just put it in there as found. Things may get crushed or broken and stuff just because they do just pile things in there. There's no rhyme or reason to it. At our bins, they do try to keep the books in a certain area. They try to keep the homewares, and then of course the clothes are separate bins. There's quite a few of those. And then the home goods like curtains and blankets and things tend to be in a different couple of bins. So they are sort of sectioned out and categorized in that way. So At our bins, generally, if you get there in time to get a cart, mostly people will start shopping, but they'll put their cart up against the wall so that you're not blocking where you can walk up to the bins and be searching. So you're not blocking and hogging a whole area. And so it's just kind of a common courtesy at our bins that the carts go up against the wall and you find something and you just transfer it over to your cart. Nobody at our bins that I've ever been to has ever bothered with my cart. I mean, I do keep, one eye on it and one eye on searching, and usually I'm with Rob, so there's two of us, so we're kind of circulating and looking around and going back to our cart pretty regularly. Or if there's a piece of furniture or something, people will put it up against that certain wall so that people know this is taken. And I've never encountered anyone extremely rude or anything like that at the bins. I've heard the stories just like you have. I've seen the comments of people saying that, somebody was fighting over things at the bins and things like that. And in general, I would be very surprised to see that happen. Generally, if somebody grabs something up out of the bins, I like to talk to them about it because we're just all having fun and we're thrifters, but there are a lot of resellers there. So they get, focused and they get intense maybe sometimes. Girl just pulled up a really gorgeous basket right in front of me and I'm like, that's a great basket. And she's like, I know, and it's so heavy. And, we're just having fun with it. And then a lady had found a gorgeous big spongeware bowl. And it's like, good for her. This is, this is the fun of the hunt and everything. And she said she collects them. So that was a great find for her. So generally it's pretty fun. To me, I have to kind of be in the mood because you are kind of kissing a lot of frogs before you find the prints. You're going through a lot of junk and a lot of stuff that's like, this would really just be thrown away, like plastic that's, torn up and has marker all over it and things like that. But I nearly fainted a couple of times. We went to the bins twice this weekend, which is unheard of. We don't even go that often, but I'm going to tell you that story in the haul. Okay, haul time, yay! Okay, there were some fantastic finds. We went 2 different times on the weekend, which I swore I would never. I went on a Saturday to the bins long time ago, months and months and months ago. And it was as expected. It was very busy. There were a lot of dealers. It was pretty picked over. And I had told Rob, I just really don't want to go on a Saturday again. If we could find a time during the week or something, that would be more fun for me probably. But so we had decided that we would pop in on a Saturday because we were out running some errands and stuff. And actually Rob is the one that wanted to go. He is often an instigator with thrifting. It just all depends. I tend to watch home tours of people that have a lot of thrifted mixed in with their new, mixed in, that kind of thing. And that gets me going and wanting to go find some vintage treasures for my house. And I know that when I post those kind of videos, I think it does that to you too. So it's fun and we can just all be a bad influence on each other, right? So anyway, we were there. Rob wanted to look through the books and we did get quite a haul of books. And I'm going to try to show you those, but I'm going to do those at the end because I know some people are my book lovers out there, but some could take them or leave them. And I'm going to show you the other things I got first. So he was looking through the books and I was just kind of standing there. I had grabbed a cart and I was just kind of standing there. It was early in the morning and not a lot of people were there yet. They had just opened and I thought, fine, I'll just go digging. And I didn't expect to find much. I really wasn't looking for anything in particular. Okay, so one of the first things I found that I really love, and I have a couple of these really big pine cones, but they're so lightweight. I found a couple of these and I love to decorate with them, especially around Christmas, but really anytime, because they're that earthy, organic, modern kind of look. And I love bringing nature into the house. So I got a couple of those. They're super lightweight, so I'm sure I paid not much. We spent $39 on everything that I'm going to show you today. So these were probably, I don't know, maybe 50 cents a piece. So that was a first find that I didn't expect to find at the bins, and they're all intact. So then I had seen a little bit of dishes, like I need more dishes, like a hole in the head, right? And so I just started looking through them, and they weren't anything that was exciting to me. But I moved down the bin just a tiny bit, and this must have been stuff that they had just put out because it looked like kind of layered and piled, like it hadn't been, you know, gone through. And I happened to see, let me show you what I saw. I happened to see this. Now this might not be a big deal to you, but I have 4 of these little bowls and we use them constantly. And I always said, if I find more of these, I'm gonna grab them because I love the blue and white. I love the hand-painted koi. I think it's called koi dinnerware. I don't know. I've seen different things on it as far as the vintage on it, the age. I've seen that these could be anywhere between the 50s and the 70s. There's not a lot of clear info on it online, that they do have some of these that are modern. However, where I found these, and the way I don't know if you've been to some estate sales, but it had that estate sale smell, like it had been in somebody's house, stored away for a really, really long time. If you're a thrifter, you know what I'm talking about without me telling you. Okay, so I had to wash these right away when I got them home because they just smelled like that old house kind of smell to them. And so I found this bowl, and I nearly had things come out of my mouth that shouldn't have come out of my mouth when I saw this. Gorgeous. Now, I've heard that you can get these in any Chinatown, but maybe not. I don't know. These definitely seem vintage from what I was looking at online. Maybe you know a little bit about them. Either way, I still like them, and we use them a lot. So I got those 2 big bowls, and there were 5 of these little, these are teacups, but we would also use them as little bowls. And my oldest son imports tea from China. He's really kind of a connoisseur of tea. And I've been drinking out of these a lot more, especially when he comes over and brings tea. We use these little cups and drink it more that style where you refill your cup really often. And so I love these. I don't have any great little teacups like that. And it also, it just kept going. It was just all in a mass there. And I'm like, somebody's estate was just donated directly here, it feels like. Because I don't know why these wouldn't have been in a Goodwill. I feel like they would have sold, definitely, if they had gone through a regular Goodwill, but I may be wrong. Now there's these little sauce bowls. There's 4 of those, and you can see on the back, let me see if I can hold that up right. It's hard to see these things on camera, but that's the mark on those. And these have a little bit of a darker fish painted on them, koi. I did see some online that had a little bit of color, like a little green in here or yellow or different things. And those were really pretty too. And then there were 4 of these little bowls, which is like what we have already, but our fish, the hand-painted fish, looks just a little bit different. These are almost more watercolory looking. So we were happy to get more of those because I'm telling you, these go through the dishwasher and they're constantly in the rotation because we just use them for all kinds of stuff. They mix color-wise with everything else. And again, they're kind of that earthy, organic feel with the fish on there. I love anything sort of nature-inspired. So that was the first find that just shocked me. I was surprised to find something like that here because it was something that I had always said, if I find more of those, I'm going to get them. And the only other time I've seen them were, I believe there were some plates and they were in a flea market and they were very pricey. Not really in my budget. So I thought, well, okay, if I ever find them thrifting, then I'm going to pull the trigger on that. The next thing I saw in the pile that was very close to those koi dishes was this wooden box. And I dug it out and thought, well, I'll look at it because I'm wanting to do something about a jewelry box, and I'm either going to repurpose something to make a jewelry box or buy one new. I'm not sure, but I thought, well, I always kind of look at wooden boxes. And I dug it out, and this is what was inside, and I nearly fainted. This whole set. See if you can see those. I'll hold them up. Okay, they were not shiny like this as much. Some were not. Rob sat there. There's a cleaning cloth in there that was actually came with it. And he sat there and kind of got addicted to cleaning these up, and that cloth does a beautiful job. So I had been on the lookout also for a set of vintage dishes. I absolutely love the Pottery Barn Hotel Silver kind of series that they have. And so they look vintage and they're sort of mixy-matchy. So I thought, that would be fun to have. I'm not going to use it every day, but I would use it on special occasions, holidays and stuff, because this is the Adoration set from the Rogers Brothers. Okay, and it has all the paperwork in here with it, tells what, and from what I can find, this Adoration was from, I had written it down, from 1939, this set of silver plate, the Adoration. It's an Art Deco design. So let me show it to you up closer. And all the pieces are here. See if you can see that. There's that pattern. And on the back. And you can see it's marked with Rogers Brothers on there. And you can see the beautiful shape that these are in. They're like new. I really doubt that these were used much at all. The silver plating is still seems to be thickly on there, that it was no damage. I can't find any damage. It came with serving pieces and a sugar spoon and a butter knife. Let me show you those. Came with these serving pieces. It came with 2 bigger spoons, like serving spoons like that. And of course, all the knives and the butter knives. Let me show you one of those because the pattern is really showing on that. And then on this side, aren't those pretty? They just remind me of that hotel silverware that I could find more vintage pieces and mix and match with this, and I think it makes a great vintage table. And then also, like I said, they had the cleaning cloth still in there. They had all the paperwork. I mean, all the paperwork still in there. So I have a feeling this just sat in someone's buffet and was used very rarely. Certainly not put through a dishwasher, which I will not put it through a dishwasher because I've made that mistake before on this vintage silverware, and it just takes the finish off and it's not good. They also had these couple serving pieces in there, which I'm sure are newer pieces, but it was kind of a bonus. And then they had these other vintage pieces, but you can see they have quite a bit of the silver plate worn off. So rather than using those, I think I may, repurpose those. I don't know if you've ever seen those where you pound the spoon flat and you put the name of the herb or something, or I don't know. I absolutely love silver spoon rings. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe it's something from when I was growing up, but these might be fun to try to turn into the rings but I don't know if you would resilver them, or I'm not sure what you would do with them. But anyway, that was just extra pieces in there. And literally, you guys, this, having paid $39 for everything, and that included quite a few books and such, I probably paid $5 at the most for this entire place setting for 8. I was over the moon because I have been looking for a set like that, and it was just beyond exciting. Okay, on to the next things. I also, near this whole same section, I found this guy here, and first thing I thought was vase, and it looks very mid-century to me, so I thought, well, maybe it is authentic mid-century because it was near these other things. It seemed like they had all been put there together. Let me show you the bottom of it. It says copyright, and it's got a giant, I think I have that upside down, don't I? Yeah, there we go. It says, it's got like a giant S and a copyright sign, and then patent, and I don't know what that last one says. I'm trying to read it backwards. But I thought maybe I had gotten an authentic piece of glassware, but from what it seems like, I had washed it, and I had seen a little bit of scratching there, and it doesn't look like the color goes all the way through. So I'm thinking that, no, it might not be an authentic piece. I haven't tried to search for it or anything like that. But I thought it'd be a pretty vase, especially at Christmas. It looks like a big Christmas ball that would hang on your Christmas tree, doesn't it? But I also used it as a candle holder. We had a snow come in overnight, strangely enough, because it's been like spring, but it was very warm and cozy to use this as a big globe sort of lantern. And I loved that look, and I think I'll be using it for that more often than as a vase. So again, probably paid just a couple bucks for that. Okay, just some fun small things that I found. I found this little easel, and I don't know, I have a couple of easels that I'm not even currently using, but I thought this was a fun piece. Even my granddaughter does a lot of artwork and stuff, and I thought maybe if I don't want to use it, she might want to use it to display one of her pieces, or I would tell her that I need a piece to put on here. So that was a fun little find. And then we're about to have a birthday party here coming up. It's starting to be our birthday seasons, and we usually do the birthday lunch or dinner at our house. And so I thought these were fun. Pier 1 Import still in the package, and these are your drink markers, and they say all different kinds of funny things on them. And I thought this would be fun, that I would put these all out and say that another person has to choose your drink marker for you. And I'm sure it will get quite a bit of conversation going. And then also, let me tell you, the reason that we went twice this weekend is because I had seen a picture frame that I decided, I have this oil painting that I absolutely love. It's a beach scene. I collected a whole set of beach oil paintings by original artists out of Florida. They're not like well-known artists or anything like that I know of, but they were all, you know, hand-painted oils, and I just love them. So I had found those on Marketplace, and I haven't hung them yet, and I realized that I don't like the frame on this biggest one. And not that it's a bad frame. I could repurpose it and use it for something else. I just don't like it on this painting for some reason. Well, I had seen a frame at the Bins the day before, and so that's why we were there right when they opened. I said, Rob, I've measured this, and I think I can switch that frame out for not a lot of money. So this was the frame I was thinking of right here. I liked it because it's a thinner frame. It is a little bit detailed. I wanted something almost a little more modern, but I think the fact that it's just a little bit thinner frame gives it a little bit more of a modern cottage edge to it, but it's still very elegant with the detail on it. So this smaller one did not fit, but there was a larger one that I had remembered it being way bigger than this, and it fits exactly. I took my tape measure, And I was jumping for joy in there. I mean, this was probably the most fun I've had at the bins ever. So you can see it's painted and a little bit chippy, and I'm probably okay with that, maybe. I'm holding it up to see how I like it, but I've got to get that other frame off before I decide if this is staying white or going a dark color or gold, or what I'm going to do with that. Let me know in the comments what you think you would put with that painting there. So yeah, oh, I didn't even see this. There is a Frame Shop sticker. No, it's a Hobby Lobby. This would normally be $50. So even half off, it would be $25. So $25 would be the cheapest I could get this frame at Hobby Lobby. And like I said, all the things I bought were $39. So yeah, I saved quite a bit of money. And that's what I told Rob. I said, really, if I were to get that framed or buy another frame, I'm sure I would pay close to that just for the frame without any kind of framing or anything. So you can save quite a bit, but get that high-end look or enjoy some vintage pieces mixed in with new pieces. And I think that's a big part of home decor, is kind of that layered and over time and collected look. Makes it so personal. And so don't just depend on, I mean, everybody's different. So don't take this wrong, but don't just depend on going in Hobby Lobby and buying a huge cart full of stuff and coming home and just putting it around your room, because that's what it's going to look like. It's going to look like a display in Hobby Lobby. And instead, if you'll mix in some found objects, maybe some DIYs, maybe something you found off Marketplace, mix it in with your new pieces. And I think that's what really elevates a space and gives it that elegance and that warmth of sort of a vintage modern sort of look. Okay, so on to the books. If you like books like we do around here, especially vintage books, of course I love my new coffee table books and gardening books and home decor books. I love all of those too. A lot of people say, I just find that stuff online. We do also have cookbooks. And I agree that I do find a lot of things online in Pinterest and places like that. But there's something about just holding that book in your hand. Again, maybe it's for a different generation, but just holding a book in your hand and drinking your coffee or tea and just cruising through and reading the stories. I actually read the stories about the homes and the gardens and all those things. And just looking at the gorgeous still pictures, it can really train your eye as well. If you're trying to improve as a decorator of your own home, then getting a good eye for composition and how things are styled, really you can gain a lot through books and magazines, and of course online you can. But these quick Instagram videos, it's very hard to absorb design tips that they use to enhance a space. Okay, so funny story, we actually went 3 times to the bins because we were talking all about our finds and the books and everything on the way home. I know, we're a weird couple, but anyway, we were talking about what we had found, and Rob just casually mentions, oh yeah, there were a couple of field guides there that I left there, and I nearly again fainted and said, there were vintage field guides that you didn't, I mean, they're 50 cents a piece, you guys. So I made him turn around. We were 2/3 of the way home. I said, turn around, we're going back. Luckily it's not real far away, but I made him go back. And I thought for sure, he was happy to go back. I didn't make him, but he said, yeah, I'll go back and find them for you. I said, I can't believe you wouldn't think I would want those. He goes, I know that about you. I know you love field guides. So I don't know why I didn't just grab them. So he went back in. I waited in the car, and I thought for sure he was going to walk out empty-handed. Well, I guess this is my Valentine's gift or something like that, because he came out with them, and they're from the 70s. these field guides, and I love that. It's so exciting. And this one's Audubon, and this is reptiles and amphibians. I don't have one of these, and I think they're both Audubon. Yeah, Audubon Society. This is North American birds. And I asked him, when have you ever seen me turn down an Audubon field guide or an Audubon book with all his paintings in it or anything like that? And he's like, you're right, you're right. I said, you see anything with Audubon on it, especially vintage, that goes with us. So the North American Reptiles and Amphibians, and I think this one was 1979 or something like that. Lots of snakes in there. But then there's lizards and salamanders and turtles and a lot of fun stuff, frogs, all kinds of cool stuff in there. And then on this side, you know, you've got your actual guide and sort of dictionary on that side. And they're made long like this so you can carry them in a backpack or something like that. These are internet, look on your phone. And let's face it, if you're out hiking, there's some areas that do not get internet whatsoever. And if you're lost, it can be a problem. Ask me how I know. But anyway, this one is birds. So I probably need to be looking for a book of maps as well. That's actually on all the great hiking in the mountains around here. Usually you can download a map on your phone of the trails and stuff, and before you get out there. And I have not done that a couple times. I have a friend that was with her little kids and got way lost. Luckily they found somebody and got their way home, but it's a good idea to have those maps on your phone. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. So those are the first that are my absolute favorite. And then we were just finding so many good things. I don't know why, but Rob wanted this one. It's for the recorder. I mean, I play the flute, so I can read the music and I could use this for my flute, but I'm not a big, I don't really listen to the Beatles or anything, but it may be fun to run through and goof around with. And we got so many books that, you know, we got the 5 for $2 deal. Character sketches. This one was kind of a neat coffee table book. Oh, it kind of was really interesting how they, oh, it's okay, Coach. It's okay. It was kind of interesting how they tied different characteristics in, but I loved the illustrations. This has some great illustrations. And honestly, a lot of these are frameable. If you think about artwork around your house and how expensive it can be. I love finding the books that have frameable prints in them. Let me see if I can find another one. It's okay, Coach. Like these full page illustrations. These make great artwork. My problem is I get the vintage book and I don't want to cut pages out of it. It's like, I can't seem to get myself to do it. So I have all kinds of frameable things here, and but they stay in the books mostly at my house. Okay, so the next thing we found were all these Pearl-esque books. And I know one of my viewers, I had found these at an estate sale, one or two of her books, and someone told me that these are highly collectible. So we didn't even know really why, because I haven't read any of them, but maybe you guys are fans. So we found a ton of them, and we thought for 50 cents a piece, we would go ahead and grab them. We have all different eras, I think, on these. We have an older one here, and all in really good condition. And that's why it really makes me think, I feel like somebody had an estate sale or decided not to have an estate sale and just donated all their stuff. I don't know if you can donate directly to the bins, but that's the way it felt to me. The Good Earth, there's one. A Novel of Korea. So any Pearl-esque book fans out there, let me know in the comments and tell me about this author. Okay, guys, I'm interrupting this book haul because I forgot to show you this great piece that I found just laying there in the bins. Always look for garden vintage or, you know, thrifted items because they've gotten really expensive. Just big pots and anything to spruce up your garden. Okay, so next we found, and I had actually looked at these at Barnes & Noble and priced them, and they were bare minimum. I think they were $35 for ones that I looked at, and these are the giant print Bibles. Isn't that funny? I have wanted one of these for a while. I just love them. And we found two of them. We found this one, of course, 50 cents, you guys. And this one. And they're King James Version, which is exactly what we wanted. So I'm pretty excited about that find. Okay, I had to stop for a second because we got a delivery of something for our living room that is coming up, and I'm going to show it to you. And you can still hear Koji is still barking and not happy about the FedEx guy being here. Okay, the next book is, this is a great book. It's American Merchant Seaman's Manual, and it's from 1964. And we thought this was a really fun book. Next one is, oh, and to go along with that, it was in the same area, so it was probably someone's collection, A Field Guide to Sailboats. How fun is that? All different kinds, describes every kind of sailboat. Inside, this just fell out of one of the books. It was a little bookmark. I don't know when that's from. December 24th. Okay, oh, I didn't even see this one. It was a book about Napoleon. And with that movie just coming out, did you see that movie on Napoleon? Now we're having Peanut join us. This is from 2002, so not an older book, but interesting topic. This is definitely a vintage one. And this is a really cool little dictionary. We just like the look of it. And I think that was, it was definitely an older one, but it's got such nice type print on it. 1942. Okay, so that would have been like my mom's era. The Cane Mutiny. This one looked really interesting to read to me. It is about a World War II, a ship in World War II, and my dad was on a ship in World War II. So I thought that would be some interesting reading. I may have to dive into that one. Here's another Harold Bell Wright, and it's called Their Yesterdays. This is a very old one. And great, again, a neat little size. Let me show you without the dust jacket. Isn't that neat? Just a cool looking book. It just adds some of that authentic patina to a room or a bookshelf or wherever you might want to be styling or reading some of these older books. And last two, this one is my father's house. And let me see that without the jacket. Yes. And it was 1937. So it looks like it might be an interesting story. Okay. And last one is this great book. This is The Meaning of Culture. And that one is definitely older. But wait, there's more. I thought I was done, and then I saw a few more after I got up. We have a set of books here called The Great Thinkers. Nice looking set. You can see they would be great stacked. They'd be great stacked on a bookshelf. And the last one was a hardcover Chronicles of Narnia. For my granddaughter, she's kind of collecting hardcovers of some of her favorites, and I don't know if she has this one. So for 50 cents, I know my younger son just bought his niece a collectible hardcover when we were out, and it was over $30. Thanks so much for watching the haul and all about the bins today. And just a reminder, if you like this kind of content, if you like home and garden as much as I do, and you want tips and mostly inspiration of how to take your home to the next level of coziness and just enjoying it, then be sure and subscribe and share and like this video. Also, I have links to more from Free Range Cottage in the description. And please comment with any questions, or I read all my comments, and I love to interact with this community here. Rob and I love this community, and thank you so much for watching today.